Hey there and welcome to this video. Today I want to letter the alphabet, but I want to go slow and step by step, so if you're a beginner you can follow along. Hopefully I try to do my best to really go step by step and explaining when I add the pressure and when I remove the pressure. But I hope that this might be also helpful for people that already know how to letter. But let's go ahead and start with the letter A. Oh, by the way, I'm using the Sakura Koi coloring brush pen. But obviously you could use any other brush pens like the Tombos or what else, the Mavi cheetah brush pens. Whatever pens you have, or even some cheap brush pens. Okay, but now let's start with the letter A. So I'm going to start with very light pressure and then go to the left, and now I'm slowly adding pressure. And now I'm releasing the pressure and I'm going over here. And now the second part of the A is the downstroke, and now we're going to the right and releasing slowly the pressure. Now you can add some variations. I'm gonna do this loop or this oval again, and it's actually all about timing, because you don't want to add or remove the pressure too quickly or too late, or too soon too late, this way around. But I'm gonna show what I mean by this in a bit. But you can also add variations by adding this part of the A a little bit up higher. You can do it like this. And also this loop over here you can change up. So you could do it like this. You could also do it like this, so that you have it more with an edge. I don't know. And now you could also adjust the height of that. So you could go like this, or as I did here in the beginning, just having it a little bit more down. But make sure that this doesn't look too much like a D. Okay, and now to the B. You can simply do a downstroke, and don't be afraid to add pressure. It's not about tilting your brush pen, it's more about, or not more about, it is about adding the pressure, and brush pens that are meant for lettering should be able to keep up with that. Make sure to use the right paper. I'm using smooth copy paper, because otherwise they might fray. If you are not afraid, or if you don't mind, or they are cheap brush pens, then just go ahead. But otherwise, if you're using, for example, the Tombow brush pens, I would only use them on small paper, unless you don't mind them fraying because you like using them for watercoloring. But keep that in mind, that brush pens do fray, and you might be able to see that it's kind of like a weird, that it might look a little bit off here and then, because it might be a little bit frayed. Okay, but again, you have the simple downstroke, and then you go ahead and start with a light upstroke, and now switch to a downstroke, go to the left and release the pressure, and go over here. And as you can see, those are two separate strokes, so you don't need to do this in one go like this. You could if you want to and if you like it. But it is helpful, especially in the beginning, to just do it separately. To go 1 and 2. Now you could also add a loop to the B, like this. And also here you can adjust the height. So here I'm going further down than with the other one, and I'm also having this line over here a little bit more higher than I have it here. You could also try to have this back loop over here very down like this. And this is how you can develop your own style. Just look what you like best, what might come easier for you. And yeah, just try lettering different words and see what you like the most. Okay, now for the C, to be honest, I don't have much variation. But we're going to start off again with light pressure and then slowly add the pressure and removing it. And you want to make sure that you add and remove the pressure slowly, because otherwise, if you do it too sudden, it will look like this. So just go slow and you go around, and now you can slowly add the pressure, and now you can slowly remove it. I mean, you might be able to get a little bit of variation with the C by going a little bit more like this, kind of like with the A over here, that you have it more like going out like that instead of a round loop. I hope this makes sense, I don't know. Okay, and for the D we also start with an oval. So slowly add pressure and removing it. And here again with the B, you can use a simple downstroke, and I'll go over to the upstroke. You could also, here you can see that I didn't go completely around, but have it more like, I don't know how to explain it, I hope you know what I mean. But here you can also add a loop like with the B. Oops, I might have gone there a little bit too far to the left. I'm gonna illustrate one more time. So, and here again you can adjust the height of this. Did I mention that before? I don't know, maybe not. But you could go like that the bottom part of this is as about the same as the oval over here, or you can go further like this. Okay, and now to the E. This might be a little bit more tricky. So we start with the light pressure going up. I should change my brush pen, because here you can see what happens if it is frayed. I hope maybe not. I don't know, but there are kind of like thinner lines. It's not as sharp of an edge as if it was a brand new brush pen. Maybe I'm gonna switch it out. But once again, so add with light pressure. And now slowly add the pressure, and now removing the pressure and going to the right. Here you could also go straight to the right, up, and adding pressure and removing the pressure. Okay, now to the F, you could add the pressure completely, now slowly remove it, have light pressure and go up like this. You could also add a loop, so start with light pressure and add a little bit more and remove the pressure. And now you could also add a loop like this, or you can leave that away so that you have it more like this. And you see that I messed up here a little bit. I think I'm gonna switch out. Do I have another brush pen here over here? No, too bad. Because my Sakura Koi Brush Pens are over there, so I'm gonna keep going a little bit further with this one. So now to the G. So we start with light pressure, adding more. It's basically the oval again. And now with the A, you could start the downstroke down here, or you could start it up here, or even higher up here like this. And you can have this loop bigger or smaller. So we're gonna add another oval. And this time I'm gonna go from here, and I'm gonna, instead of having, no, I already started. Instead of going like this wave, I'm gonna do it like this. So I'm slowly removing the pressure and going up. Or you could also go from the top part here. You can have it a very small loop like this. And those are letters where you can add lots of variations and kind of try to get your own style and change it up and see what you like. I can mention it later with the letter Y. I'm gonna illustrate it right now. That I think I used to do the Y like this, but then I kind of start liking it, doing it like this a little bit more. So this is how you can change up your lettering and change styles a little bit and see what you like best. Okay, but now to the H. So I'm gonna start with a heavy downstroke again, and I'm gonna lift my brush, and now I start with a light upstroke, going over and adding pressure, and now releasing the pressure. And here again you could add a loop to the H, And you could also do it more like this instead of going close to the upstroke. So you have the thick downstroke, which is pretty easy. I think the upstrokes are a little bit more difficult because you see it as it gets wiggly here. Also, if you're a little bit shaky, you can see it more in the upstroke than with the downstrokes. So you could have it a little bit wider. You could also, here again, adjust the height to go a little bit more further down here. And with the eye, it's also kind of tricky to get variation, I feel like, because it is such a simple, it's just one stroke. But again, you could have the upstroke more like this, or more like this, like round. Okay, now to the J. Just wanted to say Y. So here again, you can adjust the size of the loop over here. You can make it very big or very small, however you like it. And again, slowly release the pressure when you go into the loop. And yeah, that's basically the J. So you could go more straight down and do it like this, or have it more of a curve like this. Okay, moving on to the K. To be honest, I think the K is my least favorite letter to letter. Because the issue with the K is that you only have downstrokes, basically. If you letter it like this, you would only have downstrokes. I mean, you can add upstrokes by adding a loop. So that's one thin upstroke. And then you could also do like a thin line over here and then go over here, or go down there and then also add this part over here, so that you have the K with 3 different parts. But I don't know, the K is just not my letter. I don't really like it for brush lettering, because you could also try to have the tip here thicker, and then when you go to the base you go thinner, and the same way on the opposite. And also here you can adjust the height, so you could have the loop over here, and then just have it, maybe that if you have this downstroke thinner than this one, this might be also helpful. And you can also keep this height down to this, or up to this one, or go further down. But yeah, the K is not my letter, so let's just move on. So for the L, you also have 2 variations. You could simply go with a simple downstroke and slowly switch to the upstroke, or you can also add a loop. And here you might also be able to change it up by adding the loop higher up, like this, making it maybe bigger, like this. And here again, you can do the L more like a round shape, like this, or do it like this. And I went a little bit quick, and here you can see how I might have gone too quick, because here it's a little bit edgy. So remember to go slower. I think I just went too quick again. But well. Next is the letter M. So here you can also add variations in height. Actually, to be honest, the M and the N's are the letters where I don't necessarily lift off my pen, which I just do like, here I might lift it off. Which I most often letter like this, or the N like this. But let's stick with the M for a little bit more. So you have the thick downstroke, and then you go light, and you can keep it all in the same height. Or you can change up the height. And here you can also play around and adjust the letters a bit as you like to. I mean, you could also widen them. And same with the N. And as I said, I kind of like doing it more like this. Oh, That was the end. This is also something you can go like more above this and then have it like this. Wait. Or like this. Although this looks weird and this looks almost like an H, so I don't know about that one. Okay, I just got a few more brush pens over here. So let's move on to the O. So I'm starting, the O is kind of a little bit like the E because you have multiple, or not multiple, but it's not like a simple downstroke and then another stroke. It's one go, basically. So you start with a downstroke. Oh, this is thinner. Okay, again. So I'm starting with a thick downstroke and now I'm releasing the pressure and have the light upstroke and I'm going over, and I like having this loop quite big, but obviously you could also make it smaller like this, or you could also add a little bit more pressure when you're going down here. So I'm releasing the pressure. Now I'm adding a little bit more and I'm also releasing it again. You can fix it up. That's, by the way, the advantage of using a black brush pen. I think you can easily, you can fix it a little bit easier than if you had a lighter brush pen. Okay, and one more time. So I'm starting with heavy pressure and I'm releasing it slowly, going up to the left and adding a little bit more. They messed up a little bit. Okay, let's just move on to the P. So here I'm just starting with the downstroke, and I usually start with the rest up down here, and so I'm going with a very light upstroke, going over the start and now adding pressure back on and going to the left and doing kind of like this loop. Usually I'm letting the P a little bit smaller though, so like this. Going up, adding more pressure, releasing the pressure and adding a loop over here. You could also, again, adjust the height, that this is like more like this and maybe you have the loop a little bit smaller. Or you could, wait, I'm gonna move this up a little, over a little bit. You could also just do it like this without the loop over there. Okay, moving on to the Q. We again start with an oval and now slowly release the pressure. And here again you can start the downstroke here about the middle or about the same height as the oval or higher up. I'm gonna go with the same height as the oval, and here you can do a big loop or a smaller loop. So here I'm gonna start a little bit more down, hope that's right, and slowly releasing the pressure, and here I'm going thinner and up and adding pressure, releasing the pressure, and of course you could also go higher up and even further down and adding a little bit of a loop over here, although to be honest I don't like this. Okay, next is the R. One way you could letter the R is by going up with a light pressure, going here onto the left to the loop, and now adding more pressure and releasing the pressure. You could also start adding pressure here a little bit. And you could also do the loop way bigger, like this, or made more to the left, but still small like this. Could also keep this very small like this, or you could simply go up and now adding pressure, go a little bit to the right and adding more pressure like this. Going up, light pressure, now adding pressure, releasing it and adding more pressure. Alright, now to the S. I'm going to start with the light pressure, moving over and adding pressure, keeping it at it and now slowly releasing it, going in the loop. And I most likely do the top bigger than the bottom, and here you can also change it up and have it the other way around, so the bottom bigger than the top. You could also do the S like this, so like one thin upstroke and then the thick downstroke and releasing the pressure and doing it like that. Could also add a curve a little bit here like this, but I'm gonna letter it one more time this way. So adding the pressure, I keep adding it and now I'm releasing it and moving over like this. I'm gonna letter it one more time. So adding the pressure, you could also release it maybe here and then, oh, this looks weird, never mind. Okay, now the T. The T, you're doing the downstroke again with the loop over here or the upstroke over here. And now with the T line, you can obviously do it simple like this. But I usually have it more like, wait, I'm gonna do this very quickly. More like a curved line. And the length depends on the word and how it looks. So it's just kind of tricky if you have like a T and then a letter and another T. You can do it like so that you would have it like this, that it connects both. But the length and how long I do this, and if I have it more on the right side, on the left side, or more on the right side, it depends on the word I'm lettering. But you could do it more curved or more straight. You could also do a short curved one or just very simple like this. And you can also adjust the height. You could have it higher up or, no, I think this would look weird, but you could put it a little bit more to the top or in the middle. Now the U. So for the U, you also start with the downstroke, releasing the pressure. And I usually don't lift off my pen like this. So you could do it like this. But I usually keep going, and I'm either going way up and do it like this, or like this. No, I usually do it like this. I don't think I ever do it like that. Never mind, but I normally don't lift off my pen when I'm lettering the U. So I'm most of the time just going like this. But you could also have this a little bit further away so that it's not as close to the upstroke. Or you could also do it like this. Or you can have it the same height, something like that. Now the V. So I'm going with the downstroke, and here again I don't lift off, I keep it like this and going to the upstroke and now going down. And here again, like with the R, you could add pressure here to this downstroke if you want to. And you can also have variation in size. You could also just go over like this, but I usually don't do that. I usually have this loop. But obviously this would be easier. You could go like this. Could probably also go like that. But you could also do it separately, like having the downstroke and now the upstroke. And you could go bend it like this, or the other way around, that you have it more like the U. Maybe, here you can see that I added the pressure a little bit too quick. So I'm gonna do it one more time. Like this. And you can also make the loop rather small if you wanted to, so that it's more like this, however you like it. Okay, now the W. Can letter it like this, very thin, a little bit wider. And you can see I also like doing the loop over here, but obviously you could do it like this. You can also lift off obviously and then do it like this. And here you can also adjust the height. As you can see here, I have this a little bit not on the same height as in the beginning, but you could do this obviously too. You can also go here up like that. maybe then here, the loop, or just like that. But I like it this way the best. Or you could try to get it more of a V shape like this. Okay, this looks kind of messy right now. I'm gonna move on to the axe. So for the axe, I start with the upstroke and then go to the downstroke and then back to an upstroke. And then simply a line up here. And here you could also add a curving line, like thin, thick, not releasing the pressure, so that you have it more like that. I mean, you could also adjust the height over here. You have it maybe just like, no, this looks weird, never mind. I don't letter the X that often. This looks also weird, never mind. Forget about those two. But I most likely letter it like these. Okay, now the Y, I already mentioned that I changed it a little bit, or how you can change it. So going up here, and now adding the pressure and have this curve. And here again, you can make this loop smaller or bigger. You can have it the same height like this. I'm gonna see if I could make it smaller, yeah, like that. And here you can see also the difference of going more towards the left or towards the right, having that bend, and yeah. So you start with heavy pressure and now releasing it slowly, going up, and then adding more pressure. And you could also have the loop more onto the left. Also depends on what letters you have before that one. And now the C. I most likely letter the C like this, so slowly adding the pressure here and releasing it a little bit, and now slowly adding it again, going down and releasing it to go up again. So go up, adding pressure, slowly releasing a little bit so that I'm thin here again, and now slowly adding more and releasing it and going to the loop and here. You could also letter it like this, so going here, then adding pressure and releasing it, and then maybe have the line here. But I think I'm gonna letter this one more time so you can follow along if you want to. So light pressure, adding the pressure, releasing some, and adding pressure again, and releasing the pressure and going into the loop. And you can see you could also adjust the loop size if you want to. And yeah, that's basically it for the, I should have mentioned that in the beginning probably, that it's just the smaller letters and not the capital letters. But I also still struggle with the capital letters, so that's why I focused on those and didn't include capital letters. But I hope you enjoyed it anyway, and yeah, maybe I see you in my next video. Bye!